Hello and welcome to Dalit Discourse. Today I will discuss you about the another topic that is Dada Sahab More's Gabal, the stragglers. Dada Sahab More is one of the most prominent figure of Dalit literary movement in Maharashtra. He was born on 1st June 1961 at Bauchi of Solapur district. He belongs to the nomadic Pingle Joshi astrologers law in the caste hierarchy tribe in Maharashtra. This tribe used to travel from village to village, rattling their bhamba. Bhamba is a kind of musical instrument, begging alms and foretelling the future of the people to earn their livelihood. As his family had no permanent residence, Dada Sahab hardly had an opportunity to attend school. And until the age of almost 7, he took to the family tradition of begging and earning his livelihood. Against all odds, such as abject poverty, superstition, discouragement from the elders in the community, Dada Sahib continued his education. During this time, he did menial jobs, started acting in drama, and got scholarship to support his education. Dada Sahib completed his MA in Marathi with first division. He also succeeded in passing SET exam and became an assistant professor. He also served as deputy director in Yashwantrao Chauhan Open University, Nasik, Maharashtra. He was honored with many awards for his writing and social works. Let us discuss here about his struggle for getting education. So, Dada Sahab's autobiography Gabal is originally written in Marathi and published in 1983. This is one among the early Dalit autobiographies which plays an important role in Dalit literary movement of Maharashtra. The extract of it has been translated into English as The Stragglers by G.V. Bapat and published in 1992 in Arjun Dangle's edited book Poisoned Bread. It is also translated into Hindi as Dera Dangar, the Household by Dr. Arjun Chauhan and published in 2001. The Gabal by Dada Saheb covers his childhood and early youth. Unlike many autobiographies, where the protagonists are presented as a hero, the Stragglers focuses on the sad and hellish life of the community which the hero lives in. In this self-narrative, Dada Saheb sketches the real picture of pain and suffering, traditions and beliefs, rites and rituals, blind faith, illiteracy and ignorance, and the animal-like life of women of Pingle Joshi. Pingle Joshi is also called Kudmude Joshi or Dugdugi Joshi caste. Dada Sahab's autobiography the Gabal Stragglers begins with Dada Saheb's reminiscences of his childhood when he was a 7-year-old boy. The people of his tribe were gathered at Salgare village in Miraz Tahsil of the southern Maharashtra. They used to live in a temporary house made of tents. Dada Saheb's father wanted to educate his son. He sent Dada Saheb to the primary school of Salgare. When he reached the school, all the students looked at him as if he was a clone of the circus. When the teacher saw him, he asked Dada Saheb whose son he was. As Dada Saheb spoke that he was the son of a Joshi, the teacher retorted, I quote, "You are a son of a beggar. How can I admit you in the school? Go, tell your father. You can't get admission in the school. Go away from here." Unquote. Dada Saheb felt sad and started weeping. When the teacher saw him weeping, he allowed him to sit outside the classroom and let him listen to whatever he taught. But the teacher was far away and inaudible. He had no slate and pencil to write anything. When he returned from the school, his mother asked what was taught in the school. Dada Saheb simply replied that the teacher had taught a lot. His father brought him a slate for 12 annas and two pencils for 5 paise from the market. Dada Saheb regularly attended school for 7 or 8 days. He had managed to learn the letters of the alphabet. But the next week, their household had to move for another place. Dada Saheb's father was worried about the education of his son. When he talked about it to Grandpa Nagu, he thought for a while and then said, I quote, "Listen, Malhari, let him go on the rounds from tomorrow asking for alms. If he is not fated to be a scholar, then we wouldn't be able to support him by asking for alms. Nor would he has the benefit of good schooling. Think, we kept wondering like this, our bellies ride our ponies. How then can we give him any education? He will starve. No one would employ a person from our community even to clean the cow shed." Unquote. So it was decided that Dada Saheb should go about begging for alms from the next day. Dada Saheb remarks on the decision of his father, I quote, "As for me, I had no choice. I was like a dog which at the word chew pricks its ears." Unquote. Dada Saheb had no experience of begging. His father trained him in the art of begging. He instructed Dada Saheb that he should repeat the words like, I quote, "May victory attend you, may Lakshmi attend on you, may your prosperity grow, may success wait on you," before someone's door and ask for alms. Unquote. He also warned that he should not leave the door until he got some piece of bread. After much practice, Dada Saheb learnt begging, but he still remembered his slate, and whenever he found the time, he used to write the letters of alphabet on it. In this way, he spent 2 months wandering and begging for alms from one place to another. The rainy season was approaching and they had to return to their village. Dada Sahab was very happy to know that they were returning to the village. He wanted to attend the school at village. At village, Dada Sahib started attending school regularly. He used to learn more letters from the alphabet and counting numbers up to 100. A week-long festival came to an end and Dada Saheb had to leave the village and go for begging with his family. The next day he went to school with his father and informed the teacher that they were going for begging. The teacher said to his father that the boy was intelligent and he should continue his study. His father promised the teacher that he would bring Dada Saheb to the school at the time of examination and left. Their journey started from one village to another. They struck their tents, tied them up into bundles, and packed up their belongings. They loaded their ponies. Some of them slung their bundles across their shoulders. They were on the march again like pilgrims, not knowing about the town or village where they were going to. They would set up their camps where they could get something by way of alms, space for their camp, and grass for their ponies to graze on, and a source of water close by. But it was not always easy to find such a place. Dada Saheb writes on the hardship of their lives, I quote, "On some days we walked on and on from daybreak to sundown. The children, suffering from a raging thirst under the blazing sun, drooped. The hot ground scorched our feet. If one of our smaller animals strayed into a field, we had to submit to the owner's abuse and threats. Sometimes the farmer would turn violent. Still, not a word would we stay in return because we were born in one of the lowest communities in society. So we had to suffer abuse and violence without a word." Unquote. Early morning, Dada Saheb's father put on a pudmude, a rattle shaped like an hourglass, round his neck, put a bundle of almanacs into his bag. He slung the bag on his shoulder and picked up a stick, went away. Dada Saheb narrates that every Joshi had to dress up like that to be identified as Pingle Joshi. All grown-up men folk went to the village to ask for alms between cock crow and sunrise. With sunrise, They had to return to the tents because the Pingla, a kind of owl, calls only at dawn, and people in general believe that this community understands the bird's language. They go about a town rattling their bhamba. They stand at someone's doorway and go on jabbering whatever comes to their mind. People believe that whatever they say are only a repetition of what the Pingla has said. Dada Saheb again marks on the ignorance and the blind faith of the people and says, I quote, why should the Pingla worry over the sorrows of the world? It is also true that everyone in our tribe knows that the Pingla doesn't speak to him, nor does he understand the bird's language. Many a beggar doesn't even catch sight of the bird. How can it be seen in the early hours of the morning? Still, our tribe uses the bird's name as a means to earn a livelihood and manages to keep body and soul together. Unquote. Dada Saheb used to go for begging in the morning and study in the night. He returned to Bauchi with his father to appear in the examination. The next day he went to the school. The teacher asked him table for up to 100 and the letters of the alphabet. Dada Saheb answered all the questions of the teacher. The teacher called Dada Saheb's father and said that the boy has passed the class 1 exam and buy him books for class 2. The very day they returned to the tent, Dada Saheb's father bought him books for class 2. The next day in the morning, Dada Saheb went to village with his brother Abbas for begging. That day he got more chapatis than the other days. He wanted to collect more chapatis that day as he was standing in front of a big house. But unfortunately, he was bitten by a stray dog on his leg. He was crying loudly and trembling with fear. A man from the house started shouting, I quote, fuck their mother. There are no works for the children of beggars. Keeping the plates in hand and he started begging. It is good that he was bitten by dog. No one will come here again for begging. Unquote. Dada Saheb felt very angry. But what could we do? Then we weep in silence. From the next day, he didn't go for begging and started going to school. There he learned primary mathematics like addition and subtraction. But after some day, he left for another village with his family. Dada Saheb reached the 4th class and now he had to attend school regularly. For this, he had to stay in the village. So he was left in the village with his grandmother. Dada Saheb used to help his grandmother in her works and started going to school regularly. He passed the 4th class board exam and was admitted to the 5th class in the school of Nimbodi. He sold his books of 4th class and bought books for the 5th class. He got notebook from the school on concession. Nimbodi was 3 miles away from Bauchi. Dada Saheb used to go to school by walking with other students. He used to read in the light of kerosene fueled lamp. The smoke of the lamp went to his nose and his mouth became black, but there was no other option except it. When the exam was over, Dada Saheb used to go back on his tent. The next year, Dada Saheb's grandmother refused to keep him with her. His father took him to the tent. After the summer vacation, the school had to open in a few days, but there was no hope of Dada Saheb's going to school. Finally, his maternal grandmother agreed to keep him with her. He went to Gondewadi with his maternal grandmother and was admitted into class 6. There he used to work on daily wages and continued his study till class 7. He was admitted in the school of Jat in class 8. He borrowed books of class 8 from the school library. His maternal grandmother used to send him tiffin. But one day he got a letter from his maternal grandmother informing him that she could no longer send him tiffin. The next morning, Dada Saheb left for Athani to meet his parents. It was 35 miles away from Jat and Dada Saheb had to go by walking as he had no money for the bus fare. He reached Basrangi in the afternoon, which was 15 miles away from the Jat, and inquired about his tribes. He spent the night at the ST bus stop. Early in the morning, he left for another village. He moved from village to village and inquired about his people, but all his efforts went in vain. He spent the next night in the Hanuman temple of Mangsuli. He was sleeping in the temple. The priest came and inquired who was sleeping. When Dada Saheb replied that he belonged to Joshi community and had come in search for his people, the priest shouted, I quote, "You are Joshi and sleeping in the Hanuman temple. Don't you feel shame? Got up, looking smart," unquote. He stood up and got out of the temple and passed the night in the scaffold outside the temple. He was unable to understand what would happen if a Joshi sleeps in the temple. He blamed God for his predicament by saying, I quote, "Why the God has given him birth in this caste? It would be better to burn like a dog," unquote. He spent 15 days wandering from here to there in search of his people. Finally, he reached Inchkalarji, where he met Vaman Sinde from his village, but his parents were not accompanying with them. He spent the night with Vaman Sinde's tent. He borrowed 5 rupees from Vaman Sinde and came to ST bus stop in order to return to Jat. He boarded on the bus and reached Miraj. He had no money to buy ticket for Jat. He thought of begging some money for the ticket. But the next moment he thought, who would believe him but will be abused by them instead? He thought of committing suicide by taking poison, but the next moment he thought of his parents. Undecidedly, he stood up and went to the front of bus stop. Amazingly, he found that his mother was sitting there with her little daughter. They hugged each other and wept for a while. Dada Saheb told his story to his mother. She gave him 5 rupees to buy medicine for his scabies. They returned to Akiwad, where his father's tent was fixed. He lived for a week with his parents. His scabies was cured. When he asked his father that he wanted to return to school, his father burst with anger and cried, I quote, "Set your school on fire. Be here. Go for begging and live near our eyes," unquote. Anyhow, Dada Saheb convinced his father and returned to Jat. The next day, he went to the headmaster and told his story. From the next day, he started going to school. He appeared in annual examination and returned to his tent with his mother. Again, he started going for begging with his brother Abbas. After the summer vacation, he returned to Jat to continue his studies. He was admitted in class 10th. He opted for morning shift so that he could attend classes and could study in his room in the afternoon. He also admitted his brother Tatya Saheb to the hostel of Hunnur. Dada Saheb used to play some role in school drama. In this way, he passed his SSC examination with first class marks. Dada Saheb got admission in the junior college of Jat. There he had to prepare his meal by himself. He also used to go for work like cleaning of sewer and running of boring machine to earn some money in order to continue his study. He also used to earn money by playing role in the drama in village functions. Anyhow, he passed his higher secondary examination and got admission in the College of Sangli. He also got admission in the college hostel. There he used to play role in the drama to earn some money. He passed the BCom first year exam and got admission in the second year, but this time he was not allowed to avail the mess facility because he had not yet got his scholarship and could not pay the mess bill of previous year. He went to the house of his relative Suman Jiji and asked if she would arrange his food for 2 months. Suman Jiji agreed to give him food to continue his study. Her husband Manik Mama said to Dada Saheb, I quote, "It is important that you are studying, fighting with the problems. Children in our community should study like you. Without it, our caste will not improve," unquote. Dada Saheb appeared to become final year examination. He ends his self-narrative with the following note. I quote, "Who knows what will happen in future? The time will decide how much I suffer. I reached at this stage fighting with many difficulties and striving with fate. I want to stand firmly coming out of my nomadic and helpless life, but now I am in dark about my future. Who will help a passenger of darkness like me accept the darkness, and why? I have seen ray of hope many times in my mind, but who knows when will it really happen in my life?" Unquote. But his struggle for education didn't go in vain. Dada Saheb continued his studies. He completed his MA in Marathi with first division. He also succeeded in passing SET exam and became an assistant professor. He also served as deputy director in Yashwantrao Chauhan Open University, Nasik, in Maharashtra. So this is the story of suffering in getting education of Dada Saheb Mores. Thanks.